Very good morning, friends. So I hope you're all safe and healthy. Well, I started off in this new year, that is in 2022, interpretation of certain important paragraphs on the Ind AS. And I've started the journey in terms of Ind AS 1, which talks about the presentation of financial statements. This is my third video on Ind AS 1. In the first one, I was talking in terms of the distinction of the assets and liability being presented in the balance sheet as current and non-current and other acceptable methods of presentation. Then in the next video, I was talking in terms of para number 66, which tells you the basis of classifying the assets as current and non-current in nature. Today, in this particular video, I'm going to talk in terms of para number 69, which talks about distinguishing the liabilities as current and non-current in nature. Now, as we've seen that there are 4 clauses in terms of para number 66, similarly, we've got 4 clauses in terms of para number 69 as well. Once you fit into any of the 4 clauses of para number 69, in that particular case, it becomes a current liability. Otherwise, it is treated as non-current in nature. Let's look at the interpretation of the para number 69 with reference to Ind AS 1 in this video.
नया साल आप सबको बहुत बहुत मुबारक। और इस नए साल के अंदर आप रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं कि आपने अपनी प्रिपरेशन बड़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है, और इस स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रिपरेशन के लिए आपको एक किक स्टार्ट देने के लिए यह नया साल एक अच्छी खबर लेके आया है। जो बच्चे सीए फाइनल की अपनी तैयारी कर रहे हैं मई और नवंबर अटेम्प्ट के लिए, उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ी खुशखबरी, और वो ये कि इस वक्त अगर आप अनअकैडमी पर अपनी सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान करते हैं तो आपको 22%, आपने ठीक सुना, आपको इस पर डिस्काउंट मिलेगा। आपने सिर्फ इस पर एक कोड इस्तेमाल करना है। मेरा कोड है CAKB10 एंड आप CA फाइनल ग्रुप 1 या CA फाइनल ग्रुप 2 या दोनों के कॉम्बो ऑफर्स में अगर आप अपनी सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान करते हैं तो आपको इस पर 22% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा। इसके लिए लेकिन आपको बता दें लिमिटेड टाइम है, क्योंकि ये ऑफर केवल अब 5 जनवरी तक है। ये ऑफर पहले 3 जनवरी तक थी, अब आपके पास 5 जनवरी तक 12 बजे से पहले आप ये ऑफर अवेल कर सकते हैं। डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में आपको लिंक मिलेगा जिसके लिए आप ये ऑफर अवेल कर सकते हैं, और ये कोड इस्तेमाल कीजिए और 22% आप इस पर डिस्काउंट पाइए। तो भाई किस बात का इंतजार कर रहे हैं, आइए लेट्स क्रैक इट।
You can see the para number 69 in front of you, and there are a total of 4 clauses A, B, C, D. And very clearly it says an entity shall classify all other liabilities as non-current. Now let's have a look at each one of these clauses in a detail. If you look at the clause number A, first of all it says in para number 69, an entity shall classify, it says a liability as current when it expects to settle the liability in its normal operating cycle. When you calculate an operating cycle, of course, we consider a gross cycle. That means we would consider the inventory holding period and a debt collection period. But when you calculate a working capital, you also consider, I'm not talking in terms of Ind AS 1, but generally, when you calculate a working capital, you would consider even the creditors as a part of the working capital cycle. So I would say in terms of clause number A, you would consider something like a trades payable, a creditors, that is alternatively called. Even if there is, let's say, an income received in advance, that would also fit in clause A, and that would also be considered to be a current liability in nature. Then the clause number B is very straightforward, that you hold the liability primarily for the purpose of trading. That means if the objective is only short-term trading, like for example, if there is a liability which is arising on account of, let's say, option contract, which is supposed to be a short-term contract in nature, the liability might be typically held for the purpose of trading. Then it says in clause number C, the liability is due to be settled within 12 months after the reporting period. That means if a liability is to be paid, that means you are legally entitled to discharge that liability within 12 months of the balance sheet date. It is certainly supposed to be current liability in nature. Now, a very interesting example what comes to the mind is, if you look at the same transaction from the point of view of, let's say, the entity making the asset side of the balance sheet and the entity making a liability side of the balance sheet. There is one example which is given in my book, and that is also dealt in the education material of the institute as well. Let's imagine that there is an intercompany loan between a parent company and a subsidiary company. Now, if you look at from the point of view of the parent company may be having a right to receive that money within a period of 12 months. But when you look at from the point of view of para number 66, we also look into account the commercial reality from the point of view of the parent company. Would the parent company actually demand the payment within 12 months? Well, agreed, you've got a right to receive this money within a period of 12 months, but would you actually exercise that right and you're going to demand the payment from the subsidiary? Well, if the answer is yes, you would exercise the right and receive the money from the subsidiary, then it is a current asset for the parent company. But the commercial reality, tells me that as a parent company, I would not, ask the subsidiary company to make a payment. Then in that particular case, it becomes a non-current asset for the parent company. Now, for the same transaction, if you look at from the point of view of the subsidiary company, the liability is due to be settled. That means I am legally supposed to pay this money within a period of 12 months. So it is undoubtedly a current liability. So the intercompany loan from the point of view of the parent company could become a current asset or a non-current asset, because you would also look into the commercial reality when you look at the para number 66C. But when you're looking at the same transaction from the point of view of the subsidiary, then as per para number 69C, it is undoubtedly a current liability. But at the same time, I would say that when you're looking at the para number 69C, you should also dig into the para number 69D. The para number 69D says that it does not have an unconditional right to defer the settlement of the liability after the reporting period. We'll look at that para number 73 later in another video. But let's take an example. Let's say as a gas agency, or let's say as an electricity company, I am receiving a deposit from the customer. Now that deposit is something which is payable on demand. Now if the customer tomorrow gets the connection cancelled, then I am supposed to make the refund of the deposit as a gas agency or as an electricity company. Now the question arises, is the liability due to be settled within 12 months? Yes. And at the same time, you should also look into the clause number D, that does the gas agency have an unconditional right to defer? You would say that here also the commercial reality is that customers may not come to the gas agency and ask for a refund of money. But at the same time, the gas agency does not have any unconditional right to defer the settlement. I know the customer may not come to me. So if you look at the same transaction from the point of view of the customer, if an entity makes a deposit, in that particular case, the deposit which they made is going to be non-current if we look at the commercial reality that they may not ask for the money, immediately. But from the gas agency point of view, it is something which is due to be settled within 12 months because it's payable on demand. And at the same time, you do not have an unconditional right to defer the payment. So which means that when you are looking in terms of para number 66C, you should look into the commercial reality. And when you're looking in terms of para number 69C, you must also dig into 69D. So one thing is very clear, keep that important thing in mind. When you're looking at 66 current asset, 66C commercial reality needs to be seen. When you're looking at 69C, you should also look into the para number 69D. So if you fulfill any of these four parameters, A, B, C, D, the liability is current in nature, otherwise it becomes non-current in nature. So that's all in this particular video. Thank you for watching. Some more to come on some special issues related to liabilities, the guidance of which is given in terms of para number 73 of Ind AS 1 onwards. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.